All right, let's talk squatting and proper form. Throughout the course of your day, you squat constantly. It's called sitting in a chair, standing up to get out of the chair, sitting to use the toilet, standing up to get out of the toilet. Over and over again throughout the course of the day, you squat. So it's important that you know and you practice how to squat with effective form. The reason being is a squat can actually put a lot of stress on the lower back. And lower back pain is one of the leading causes of a decrease in activity in America today. So let's talk about really good form. You probably have heard of people saying, keep your toes facing forward. And I'll be the first to say that was something that I said constantly, was keep your toes facing forward. But the truth of the matter is that people's hips are slightly different. So some people will naturally stand with their toes pointing out towards the corners of the room, just slightly. Other people will stand more with their feet facing directly ahead. Now, if you find that one foot turns directly out, try to even up your legs where both are even. But this has more to do with how the bones of the leg align with the hip joint. Some people's bones are a little more round, some people's bones are a little bit more oval. So it all depends on how their hip joint aligns, where people may find that comfortable stance. So find the comfortable stance that is right for you. Your feet may need to be turned out just slightly. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are sitting on the heels of your feet. So what does that really mean? We've heard that before. That means that your toes have some flexibility. The purpose of your toes are actually to help your body to stay balanced. So as you rock back and forth, you want to keep the weight of your body into your heel. That helps to align your heel to your knee, to your hip, to your shoulder, all the way to your ear. That is proper alignment. So you want to be nice and stationary and stable through your heels. I always tell clients, feel as though they can pull their toes up when they are doing a squat. So they're not coming forward into their knees. This is not proper squatting positioning. So sitting into those heels. The other thing that I want you to focus on is this S-curve that's through your spinal column. So you should have a curve right here at your lower back and another one up at your upper spine. It's kind of hard to see mine when my head is turned to the side. But you should have a nice S-curve to your spine. You want to keep that S-curve, which means you want to keep your bum pointing backwards. Yes, ladies, bum to the back, keep it in the back. All right, so you're going to keep the weight in your heels, you're going to keep your bum moving backwards. If you find that you are starting to shift forward, that means that you have tucked your bum under and your knees are starting to come forward. That is not proper squatting position. So I always say use a bench, use a chair, and aim for the bench or the chair. You want your bum to go back to that bench or chair. Your chest will naturally come forward slightly, unless your feet are really wide, and then you can keep that upright position. But when your feet are narrower, your upper body is going to come forward slightly in order to balance you. You can kind of see the difference. When my feet are wider, I can keep my body upright more. When my feet are closer together, it's harder in order to offset that weight. Don't worry so much about your knees coming over your toes. Make sure that you're sitting into those heels. When we squat in everyday life, like to pick something up from the ground, your knees are naturally going to come forward slightly. That is okay. What you want to do is feel as though you are in your heels. You don't want to be shooting those knees forward. You can see my heels are up now and I'm coming into my toes. So make sure you're staying into those heels of your the heels of your feet. And then aim for that chair or the bench, keeping your bum moving backwards. You can go all the way to sitting down, and then same thing, keeping the weight in your heels. So you're coming upwards, not forward. You don't want your bum to tuck under. That puts a lot of strain on the lower back. So if you find that you have to shift to your toes, stop at the point that you're starting to feel that shift. You may not be able to go all the way down to the chair. You may have to shorten that squat in order to build up the glutes. You may also have to stretch the back of the leg, including both the inner and outer thigh. For most people, I'm finding that it's not enough for them just to stretch the back of the hamstring. They also need to stretch the inner and outer thigh plus their bum. But remember, you want to stay in your heels, bum moving backwards without tucking the bum under. Don't worry about the depth. The depth will come. You'll be able to get further down as you continue to work on those squats. Stay in your heels, keep the bum to the back, keep the bum moving back, and don't shift that weight forward.